if you ever needed a reason to lock in the last quarter of this year, this list should give you all the reasons you need. These are all the TGs and potentially planned airdrops until the end of the year. So if there was ever an excuse to completely be zoned in, this is the time. We're also going to discuss a couple new strategies you can use other than perpetual DEXs that can maybe qualify you for best returns. And best of all, they cost you time, not money. Let's get started. And super quick, super time sensitive information about Invariant. It is launching on September 30th, 9 a.m. UTC. So maybe by the time you're watching this video, it will have already launched and you might want to de-risk or sell a little bit of your position because after all, it is Eclipse and Solana, but it is in Eclipse, which is kind of not the best ecosystem as of now. So what were the airdrops in September this particular crypto Twitter account made? It is quite a big list, but you can see that altogether it was around $24,000, but pretty much spread out, and maybe it has taken a little longer time than necessary. In our case, you could have seen that 5 figures were easily attainable with just a couple proper projects. For example, he's missing a couple zeros here. So everybody needs to make a strategy that makes the most sense for them. Is it better to farm 50, 100 projects on 10, 20, 30 wallets, or maybe just focus on a specific few that will yield you the best results? And which one strategies are those I'm going to talk about in the video right now? But I believe he has identified this already in the beginning of August, which might be the best way to focus on airdrops in the upcoming future. Of course, you always know that I'm super bullish on perpetual DEXs because those are usually underfarmed and have given the best returns over the last 12 months, but that doesn't mean it's going to continue. So let's see what other strategies we can employ. So first time when Discord role farming became on everyone's radar was when Wormhole gave 8,000 W tokens to everyone who had OG Nedd role in the Monad Discord. At a time that was valued over 10k, and that was the moment that people realized, okay, maybe Discord roles are not complete waste of time. So if you're still interested in how to farm Discord roles, most of the time you need to be really active in their official channels, of course, in their Discord, helping the community, helping everyone who has questions, also maybe applying for some mod roles. And if you are bullish for this kind of interactions, maybe you have more time than capital right now, then these are 13 projects for which Discord roles might be interested to farm. You will find some familiar names here with Aztec Network, Sentient, AGY, Arceum, and a couple others. So you need to decide which one of these is going to be most worthy for your time. All right, so what are all of these projects launching their tokens and maybe airdropping? Of course, Monad, one of the most hyped up launches of this or maybe early next year. We have Abstract Chain, Premier Gaming, NFT, upcoming chain. We have Foga Chain. Remember to always check the Discords where you can claim some roles for holding an NFT. For example, if you had claimed the Pythonian Discord role in Pyth Network, you would have gotten 4 to 6k of Avantis tokens just for free. Absolutely crazy. Of course, Sonium, we've mentioned this many times. Most of these were already farming, but it's a good list to be reminded of if you still have some liquidity spread out across different chains. For wallets, this is probably the easiest, most lazy way to farm airdrops. We've mentioned this so many times. Just if you're okay sharing your seed phrase with different protocols, of course, reputable projects, Rabi, Rainbow, and Privy, you can simply import the seed phrase and farm them just organically by using your DEX interactions or on-chain activity. And AI, we have Sentient, AGI, Sahara already did one of the best airdrops of this year. Mira Network, very nice surprise of last couple of days, and a couple others as well. Now, perpetual DEXs. All right, so ever since Hyperliquid, perpetual DEXs have been my bread and butter, so let's go on the list. Later. 6 months in, private beta, still one of the best places to trade because you have zero maker and taker fees. Let me say that again. Usually when you're farming perpetual DEXs, you spend thousands on fees just to get 5, 10, 15 million in volume. Lighter has zero maker and taker fees. For now. Of course, they will add it to the platform later, but as of now, you can farm points almost for free as long as you open delta neutral positions on a low fee taking platform as well. Of course, nothing is without risk, and even delta neutral positions can get completely obliterated because by the time you're closing on one side, it can completely go in the other direction or the other, but again, risks of the trade. Pacific FI, this is one on Solana, we'll mention this a little bit later. EdgeX on the list, have not started the research just yet. GRVT.io, we have some nice connections over there, and even though their user experience is not the best, I'll have to be honest, they do have season 2 ongoing right now. Season 1 ended September 23rd, so you can get in on this one. It seems to be, even though they have 500,000 followers, I do believe that there's not too much volume going on there right now. Ostim Labs is one of the best places to trade TradFi assets on chain. So this is something for more your dad's S&P 500 traders. And you have GT. This is no clue. It's the first time I ever heard about this. Ranger Finance, this is something on Solana. I will mention on this a little bit later. And Variational is very interesting because it's offering also zero fees like Lighter, but there's many other benefits. So this one definitely requires a little more research on my end. And yes, I am aware this is quite a huge list, and sometimes it just really helps to talk with other serious DeFi experts and airdrop hunters. One such is in our Discord, where Leaky, me, and many other guys have been instrumental in securing some really nice airdrops over the last couple of years. If this is something that you're interested in, if you want to make the most out of this bull market, find the best strategies, best projects, and best use of your time, consider joining. All you can do is go to the subscriptions tab, which is always in the first link of every video, of the description of every video. And here you will find monthly, yearly plans, as long as you have an airdrop track application as well to keep you organized. Finally, the NFT collection is migrating to Farmer's Bounty. We're going to continue generating you 10% a month for the foreseeable future. All right, back on the list, we are back with predictions markets. Polymarket is by far the category leader in this particular niche, and it was hypothesized that maybe is going to be somewhere in the range of a couple billion at the launch. So we will have to keep our expectations in check for this one. Kalshi, this is a competitor. Honestly, not too much research on this one, but what I do know is that Limitless is one of the best platforms that you can do this with on Base. So if you want exposure to Base, potentially for airdrop and predictions market, definitely try Limitless. In the infra category, we have Symbiotic and Karak, one of those restaking protocols from the past. Eigen was a pretty decent airdrop after they added the extra 100 tokens, but since then, the meta has taken a bit of phase shift, so we will see if some of these can deliver. Conduit is one I will mention because Ethena is built using Conduit, so keep that in mind. It might be one of the better ones. Maybe there's going to be some Ethena airdrop for people who have been interacting with this particular project. And another one, of course, Espresso Systems. This one is building a bunch of dApps, so we will see how the integrations continue. Now, stablecoins. Stablecoins are probably going to be the main niche in 2026 with more institutional adoption and more institutional interest. And simply, stablecoins have such basic utility of international global payments that it is pretty clear that it's going to be a more important niche in the next couple of months or years. We will see. Many famous ones. We have, of course, XPL Plasma launched just a couple of days ago. Video on that coming soon. But stable STBL, we have so many Perena on Solana, just so many good stablecoin options and airdrops coming. So definitely keep an eye out for this. Even if we don't get airdrops for this one in 2025, probably Q1 2026 is the go time. And closing in on Bitcoin network, blast from the past, we have Citria. This was one of the more promising testnets in the past, built on Bob and Mezzo network. They also had some moments, but honestly, at the moment, Bitcoin seems to be a little bit in the wayside. Consumer apps, only Aptos is one of the ones I really recognize out of all of these. Very nice social metric for X account credibility. Of course, NFTs, OpenSea is coming, so hopefully this one is going to be very good for the NFT holders, and Moonbirds, hopefully that can raise the floor of those poor little birds, because right now it's not looking great for the Moonbird community. And there's also DeFi and robotics category. In DeFi, we have Hyperland, A Priori, and Kintsu as some of the more promising projects. And of course, there is Meteora coming in October. Rhea, one of the perpetual DEXs, should also airdrop this year, but we will see. They've been postponing the airdrop for quite a while already. So with all of these projects competing to launch before the end of the year, one very obvious question arises, and that is, who's going to buy these tokens exactly? Where is the inflow of capital going to be? Are we going to have the bull cycle top where Bitcoin, ETH, and SOL are all massively in profits and people can start degening alts and new launches? Unlikely, at least in 2025. So keep that in mind that more than 90% of airdrops have lost their value over time. So unfortunately, as bad as it sounds, but dumping the tokens on TG has proven to be somewhat of a good strategy, which justifies projects launching and making mandatory stakes for higher returns over a longer period of time. So again, these are all many projects, many launches. If you've been farming these, make sure to be logged in for the last couple of months of this year so you can claim everything in time and hopefully make a really nice return on your time invested. And that is a wrap for all the topics for today. If you like the content, make sure to like and subscribe with bell notifications on. Questions, comments, I'm waiting for you in the comment section below and in our Discord. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time, have an amazing day.